Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Akash Thing. Hope you are doing good. Today we will continue our learning session on the Python playlist. In our last video, if you remember, we have covered the print function and we learned a lot of things about it. In our today's video, we will cover the input function of Python, and this is going to be our last video from the introduction session. From our next video, we will try to go into data types and the variables. So hope you are going to like the session. So I have prepared a Jupyter notebook for today's session. So you can see it here. So these are the topics I will be trying to cover today. So the first topic is understand how this input function actually works. So yeah, this is the first topic, and then the second topic is like we will try to implement the input function, and we'll try to have a text also inside the input function and see what it or why it is used or how it helps. And then we will try to see the data type that is getting out of the input function, so that accordingly we have to validate the data type whenever we are going to use this input function in our code. And then we'll also try to combine f a string with the input function, and then in the end we will also see like how we can have multiple input function. And also after doing all the things in this Jupyter notebook, we will try to implement one or two input function related code in our Jupyter in our terminal as well, and see how it behaves differently versus what we will see here. Okay, so with that, let's get started with our first topic to understand how this input function works. Yeah. So here, as you can see, let's try to understand the input function. So once I trigger this input function through the terminal or through the Jupyter notebook, what it will do, it will open a space for me where I can interact with the operating system or the system basically. So here, user, which is me, I can insert anything into the computer. So this is my machine. Now, how I will enter? I will use my keyboard to enter the value. So the thing which I will enter will get visualized on the screen, and once like things are coming up, it will keep on with like we can see that on the go as well. Once that is done, what is happening now? Again, at this place, how the things are happening is like the system goes in a pause mode. The pause mode. So this is what we have mentioned here, that Python sends a command to the operating system to temporarily freeze your program's execution. So the program execution stops and it waits for the trigger. And meanwhile, whatever things I will be writing here, so all those things, it will be stored in a buffer memory. So that is the thing here written. So in a temporary storage area called a text buffer, everything will be stored. And then once I hit enter, which act as a trigger, so it will execute the code. So you can read here, does not give anything back to Python until I press the enter key. Press enter sends a special line character in the end to the buffer, which signals that you are done typing. And then once we click this enter, then it again does a cleanup as well. So after this trigger, let's say trigger, there is a cleanup process as well. So this cleanup does what is like, if I pressed high into the panel, then the output will be high and then new line. And then the cleanup will come, and cleanup will try to remove this new line, and it will return high only. So this is what it is trying to say. Now let's try to implement it and see how it works. So yeah, I have written the input, and then once I hover over it, I can also see the details of the function. So this is the function name, and here we can see prompt, whatever I want to write, it will be kind of string. And then read a string from the standard input. The trailing new line is stripped. See, the new line last, whatever is there in the end, will be removed. And then the prompt string, if given, is printed to the standard output. Standard output is nothing but our screen without a trailing new line before the reading text. So yeah, this is what is happening. And yeah, we can also skip in between if we don't want to type anything. So let's try to hit enter. Let's try to run this cell. So after I ran, you can see on the top, I have this box open up, which is saying press enter to confirm your input or escape to cancel. So if I press escape, it will cancel. It will not take any input. If I press enter, it will consider whatever input I get. So let's try to press escape first. So see, I pressed escape. So since I didn't enter anything, it just printed nothing, just the two comma, inverted comma. Now let's try to press enter instead of escape and see. So again, the same thing. Now let's rerun this. And this time let's try to write something. Let's say, hi, how are you? And then press enter again. So you can see it returned me this text. Now here we can do one more thing. Let's try to enter some message like what is your name, and then run it. So now you can see it is giving me a notification that this you have to enter your name. So I can enter my name, Akash Gupta, and then enter. So now it will print that. So this is how both the input is working with and without any message. Now coming to the next one, let's try to check the data type that this input is returning. So let's try to run input again. And before running that, uh, if you don't know how to check the data type, we have this type function in Python. And once I enter a integer, you can see the type is int. If I enter a float, then the type will be float. And if I just enter some text, it will be string. So hope you are clear now. Now let's try to use int input function and see the type. So let's store our output in A and it input function and then type of A. Fine. So let's try to run this and see if I write hi, how are you? And see the output. So it's a string, which is correct. Now let's try to rerun this and this time let's try to enter some number 201. See, it is still treating it as a string, which I don't want, right? I have entered a number, so it should be a number. So how we can do that is like we have to convert this data type from string to integer using this int function. So this is a simple function which is there in Python that converts any string into a number only and when that like convertible to int is like applicable or not. If I will enter a string, then it will fail. See, if I am entering hi, see, it will throw an error because this is not meeting the criteria of the int function. Now, if I enter 201 again, you can see the type is int now. Similarly, we can do for float as well. Let's try to add another variable, float, and input. Let's try to run that also. First, let's try to add a print statement, which we already learned. So print this one and this one. So first we will enter the first number, which is 100, and then the second number, 100.00, and see. See both the, since I have entered the 100.00 for B, I am getting the float variable here. Now, can we sum it up? Let's try to do it. Print A plus B. First, let's enter 100 and 200. So this is working 300. And if we try to enter 10 and 10.5, then this will also work 20.5. And if I make both of them int, then that decimal will be gone. So I can enter 100, 100, and the output is just 200. Now, if I remove this int from the beginning and try to run this function again with some text only, for example, hi, or let's write my name Akash and then Gupta. Will it run? Let's see. See, it has run. So basically, it added the two text using this plus command. So again, like this is although not the expected outcome that we were having, but yeah, this worked because in Python it can also concatenate to a string using this plus function. That's why it worked. Now let's try to have some f string. So what is meant by f string is like let's create a variable user and let's give it a name, Akash, and then let's try to print uh, uh, something like my name is, and then let's try to use this user here instead of defining the name initially. So this way we can make it dynamic. Now we can change the name to Gupta, and then the output will be Gupta. We can change the name to something else. What? So it will work, right? Now the same thing we can do again here. Yeah. So what we will do is like let's try to take two input. First is username input. Enter your name and then user age. Enter and then input. Enter your age. And then let's try to create a string. And this time, okay, before that, I think here instead of print, we wanted to check with input, not print. So yeah, let's try to do this first. So what I'm trying to do here is like I am passing the user variable dynamically into the print statement, and we will see like the values that is getting displayed on the screen will change. So let's see that. Yeah, you can see it's writing quote, and then I can enter anything, Akash. So same thing, like here we can change it to QQQ, and then let's try to run. See, now you can see it's changed dynamically. So again, you can write something, and this is working. And this is opposite of that. So here, what we are doing, instead of uh, using this f string in the input, we are using the output of the input function inside a f string, and we'll try to store it in a variable SUMMARY summary. The user name is, and then username and the age is user age. Now, either we can print it or we can also take another input out of this, right? Both are possible. Let's try it. So the first it is asking the name. So I will write Akash and then the age, let's say 30. So now you can see it printed this. The username is Akash because of this print statement. Now again, here also you can see since we have passed this summary into our next input function, so it is displaying the same thing here also. So now you can just say close it. So yeah, this way we can combine FST at any place in this input function. Now we'll also see how we can have multiple input function running. And yeah, for this, I think we have already seen it here. But if we want to have kind of infinite loop, in that case, we have to write a while statement. So if you don't know while statement, it's okay. We will cover that in our upcoming session. Yeah, I'm just copying the paste from somewhere so that it saves some time. So let me explain it. So what it is doing is like first it will print that type exit or quit if you want to end the chat. Otherwise, it will keep on continuing unless we break it. So to break the while loop, we need to pass either exit or quit. So when this condition will be met, it will run into this loop and it will break the cycle. Otherwise, it will keep on printing the user message, whatever the user or I will be writing. So let's try to see if it is working. So you can see type exit or quit to in chat, but let's type something. Hi. So you can see user just said hi. So this is same thing, right? What user just said and then the user message. So user message is hi. Then here you can see you is coming because in the input we have given this text you. Now we can tell something. My name is Akash. See the user again it displayed the same thing. Now if I want to exit this loop, I can write exit and this will break. See goodbye thing. So goodbye because it entered this loop, so that's why goodbye. So hope this is good now and yeah, this is what I wanted to show here in this section. Okay, no, this is not that one. Fine. So now we will cover this another piece where we will cover multiple inputs in one sentence. Let's try to run it. Let's try to do this also. Let's say I want to print, and since I want to have multiple input now, so my I and then it will be username. Username will come from input, enter name, and then welcome to your. Then we ask his age int and then input enter age. Okay. This is some message I'm just trying to print with multiple input statements. So let's try to run this. So see, it's asking enter name. So he will enter name, let's say Akash Gupta, and then enter, and then it is asking the age. So age will be 35. So now you will see the message. Hi Akash Gupta, welcome to your 35th birthday. So this is how we can use multiple input also in a single line. Now there is one more thing I wanted to show. So this is how we ran in the terminal in Jupyter Notebook, and now we have this command where I have added a new line character at the end of my text that I wanted to display. But in this notebook, when I will run, you won't see any difference with or without new line. Similarly, you won't see any difference with tab and without tab. So let's try to run it and see. So the first one age, you don't see any difference, right? It is as usual. Now for this also, it is asking like two buttons. You have to select which one, anyone I can select. Let's say one. And see the output is generated. So I have to print the choice to see the output. So if I just print it, you can see it here. One. Now this is fine. Now if I just want to execute in terminal and see the difference, so let's try to run it quickly. Just let me copy it. So I will start the Python. Now the Python is ready. Now let's try to paste it here. Now see the difference. So when I entered this, the entry bar went like one line below, right? Now here I have to enter anything, right? 30 or something. Now you can check the age, 30. Now if I remove this new line, you will see I will be writing to the same line. See, same line, 30. So this is the basic difference that in terminal you can see these new lines characters are working good. Now same, let's try to do it for the next one, which is tab. Let's try to clean it. Okay, I don't think I will be able to clean, so let's run it here only. So yeah, I have ran this. Now let's see how the output is looking. See the difference. I executed this line, and this has like first is the tab, so it took some tab here, and after tab it printed the first value, and then it went to new line, and then it created another tab. So this is the another tab, this is the new line, and then it entered the next value, and then again new line, and then selection. So again here new line, and then without any tab the selection. Now I can enter 1 or 2. So now I can again see what is there in my choice. So it's same, but the way it has printed or the display thing is different here. So this is what I wanted to show. So yeah, I think this is all I wanted to discuss today. I know it's short and very little, uh, not that much thing to learn, but yeah, I think you enjoyed it and hope we'll try to bring up with more informative session on Python in our coming video. So with that, thank you and like, subscribe and share.